Hello students. So we are going to study about the last topic in intermediate SQL, that is called authorization. So what is meant by authorization? So far we studied how to create a table or a relation, and we explained different ways for retrieving values from a relation, doing modification, updation, etc. In some cases, uh, we need to show different users only part of the database, and also we need to give authorization to users. So it is also possible to assign a user different forms of authorization on different parts of a database. Commonly, the authorizations which are given to a or assigned to a users are authorization to read data from the database, authorization to insert data, new data into a database, authorization to update data, and authorization to delete data. So, it is possible to assign several authorization to different users in order to perform different actions on a database or a part of a database. And these authorizations are commonly to read, to insert, to delete, and to update data. And these authorizations are normally called as privileges. The user can give, or to a user, we can give either all privileges, that means all these operations can be performed on database, or none. None means no option, that is they cannot read data, they cannot insert data, they cannot update data, they cannot delete data. That is indicated by none, or a combination of these privileges, that is we can give at least either any one of these privileges or to any two privileges. So its combination can also be applied to the users. Okay. So whenever a user is trying to make any changes, or if he or she is trying to do any operation on a database, like try to insert a data, or try to update a data, or try to write a query in order to perform any data retrieval, first of all what the SQL will do is that SQL will check whether the user has that particular authorization, that is whether he or she has authorization in order to do that operation. If he or she has the authorization to do that operation, then only the particular thing will happen. For example, if I am a user, if I have given right to modify the data, suppose I am writing a command in order to retrieve data from the database. First of all, the SQL will check whether I have the right to take value, to select data from a database. No, I don't have that privilege. I have only, I have the privilege to modify the data in a database. So that is how the SQL works when a user is trying to write any query or any type of operation on the database. If he or she is not given a privilege to do that operation, that particular command will be, or that particular statement will be rejected by the SQL. And so far we discussed how to access data, which are the different authorization in order to access data from a database. Now we are going to discuss, we can also, user can also grant authorization in order on the database schema. Schema means to the structure. That is, we can assign, we can grant a privilege in order to create tables, to modify tables, or to drop relations. So that is also another type of authorization. So the first we discussed is about authorization to access data. That is, we already have a table, and inside the table different authorization can be done to delete, insert, update, or to take or retrieve data. Next we are going to study is it is also possible to grant authorization to a relation, like creating tables, modifying tables, and dropping the relations. So there are two commands are used for giving a permission or to an authorization, and to withdraw the authorization which already given to a particular user. So for that purpose, we are using two commands, grant and revoke. Grant means to a user some kind of authorization can pass to a user by using the grant command. And if a user already have a particular authorization which is granted earlier, it can be withdrawn by using the revoke command. And we know that database administrator is the owner of the database. He has the ultimate authority, and he is the person who is giving the rights to different users. So now we are going to study about two main parts of authorization. As we said, it is possible to grant privileges to users and also revoke privileges from users. So first of all, we are going to study how to grant privileges. So we said what is meant by privileges. Privileges are SQL standard, that is SQL allows to perform this operation on a database which is called all privileges. Suppose if a user has, suppose I am a user and if I am creating a new relation, or I have the right to create a relation, then I will have all privileges. Okay, I can insert value to it because I am the owner of the relation. I'm the owner of the table. So I have all the privileges. Okay. There are certain commands are there which are used to grant privileges to a user and revoke privileges from a user. So first of all, we are going to study about how to grant a privilege to a particular user. What is the command or what is the syntax for that? So grant statement is used to confer the authorization, and this is the common format of the grant command. So it will start with the grant keyword, and after that we can specify the privilege list. So we set So, as we said, these are the common privileges, all privileges. So, we can specify if we are giving any particular privilege to a person, we can specify that one. For example, if we are giving a user select privilege, then we will write the select here. Or if you are giving insert, we will write insert here. So, that is the privilege list. And after that, we can write on keyword. Then we can specify the relation name or a view name. That is the name, what is the name of the table that we can specify, or what is the name of the view, okay, that we can specify after on keyword. Then we have to use the to, then we can specify the user or a role. Okay, so this is the syntax for granting privilege to a particular user or particular role. So we will specify what is the meaning of a role. User, you can see any name. For example, if it is Anu is a user, we can write that particular name here. Or we can also divide the users into different groups, and the group name can be given, it is called a role. So that we will discuss later. So whenever we are granting, we are specifying the syntax, that particular privileges will be given to the specified user or specified role on a particular relation or view. For example, here we can see a command, grant select on department to Amit, Satoshi. So what is the meaning of this one? That means that we are granting, not we, the database administrator is granting a select, that is the particular user can only retrieve data. What is the data? What is the relation name? Relation name is the department. So this is the example of grant statement. Next is so in this previous example, and that is in this example, we are granting the select privilege to the two persons on this department table. Okay. That means grant select means the privilege to select data or retrieve data on this department table is given to these two persons. So in the same manner, we can write the update authorization. So update authorization means that particular user will have privilege to make updations on any tuple in the corresponding relation. And it is also possible to specify the attribute which can be updated by a person. For example, if you are writing the command like this, grant update in bracket budget on department to Amit and Satoshi. That means that inside the department table there is an attribute which is called budget. Okay, and that budget attribute can only be updated by these two persons, and it is granting permission to update this attribute on department table to these persons. Okay, so if you are not specifying any attributes here, that means that that particular person is giving update authorization on all the attributes. Okay, so if you are giving authorization to update on any particular attribute, we can write the set of attributes in parenthesis. Suppose if the parenthesis is absent along with the grant update statement, that means that the updation can be performed on all attributes on the corresponding table. Next is insert authorization. So it is also very much similar to the update, but instead of updation here, we are giving insertion authorization to insert values to a table. Here also we can specify that a particular person can grant permission to insert certain values, certain attributes to a table. For example, if you are writing instead of update, grant insert in bracket budget, like that. Suppose if you are writing like that, what is the meaning? The insertion can only be done on the specified attribute inside the table. And the other values, that is if you are inserting a particular attribute only, or if the user has given permission to insert a particular attribute value inside a table or a relation, the other attributes on the corresponding tuple will be taken as either null or default. It is also possible to give a default value whenever we are creating a table, that we all know. So if you are not specifying a value, that will be taken as default value, otherwise it will be set as null. So this is very important point, that is in the case of insert authorization also, a user has given the privilege to insert values to a relation, and insertion can only be done, that is insert authorization can also be done to certain attributes in a relation. So that attribute value can only be inserted by the corresponding user, and other attribute values inside the tuple will be taken as either default value or null value. So next is about the delete authorization. Delete authorization means it allows to delete. It will give a user in order to delete certain values or delete tuples from relation. Next is, suppose that if you are giving the username, that is when we are specifying the grant permission or like that, if you are specifying this field as public, that means that the corresponding authorization is given to all the current and future users, that is who all are using that particular table has given, and the future users who may be accessing that table has given that corresponding authorization. So this is the meaning of grant permission. Next is how we can give the revoke privilege. Revoke privilege means that if a particular user has given a particular grant, a particular access or granted an access to do any kind of privileges, it can be taken back by the database administrator. And this is the command for revoking the privilege. It is also similar to that of the grant permission, but a small change is there. Instead of grant command, here we are using the revoke command, and in bracket we can specify which all authorization are revoked from that particular, withdrawn from that particular user, and on the table or view name from the user or role list. Suppose I am giving one example. Revoke select on department from Amit Satoshi. That means suppose that if this person has given all privilege or anything, it's not specified, but suppose if the person has given any privileges, the select privilege from this users on the department table is withdrawn by the DBA. So that is the meaning of this one. And one more example is there, revoke update budget on department from Amit Satoshi. So we already wrote a command to grant permission to update the budget field on department table to this person. which is withdrawn by using the revoke command. So revoke update budget means that right to update the budget attribute on the department table is withdrawn from Amit and Satoshi. Next topic we have to study is what is the meaning of a role. So whenever we are considering an example called a university, if you are considering university, there are different types of peoples are there, and we can categorize the people into different groups like instructors, students, dean, heads, etc. Okay, then suppose that if a particular person, for example, if a clerk or some person has given the right in only to view the details of geology department. Suppose you have a table which is called department table. We already considered that example, and we know that the department table contains, sorry, not department, instructor table. Okay, instructor table contains all the information about the instructors from various departments. Suppose that we have a particular person inside the college, let it be any clerk or something. Suppose we are giving or a clerk can view the details of faculty only from the geology department. That is, he has the right to view the details of instructors who are working in geology department. He does not have authorization to view or to perform any action on other instructors. So in that case, first step what we have to do is we have to create a table, view. View means we are creating a subset, a part of instructor table which contains only the details of geology department instructor. So we know that this is the instruction to create a view. I'm just giving the name geo instructor, that is the name of the view. You know how to create a view. Create view, view name as, then we can write the query. We know that if we want to access all the details from geology department, this is the command for that. Select star from instructor where department name is equal to geology. Then after that, if you want to create a role, so as I said, we can say that each person can, I said about the point which is called a role. That means if you are considering university, we can divide the persons who are working in university into different groups based on their job. That's called a role. And suppose if you want to create a role which is called instructor, this is the command for that, create role instructor. So that means a new role will be created whose name is instructor. Then after creating the role, suppose if you want to grant privilege to a role, how we can write the command? Grant select on takes. This is an example. So that means that granting, that the heading is granting privilege to a role. Suppose if you want to grant select privilege to instructor, how we can write that command? Grant select on takes to instructor. Here grant is the permission we are giving. Select is the privilege, that is the person, the instructor role. That is the person who is an instructor can only select values on table name. Takes means it is the table name to instructor. That is to this group has granted the permission to select values on the takes table. Next is if you want to grant privilege to a user. So as I said, the grant privilege, whenever we specified the grant statement, we said that the grant command after privilege list on the relation or table name to, we can write either user or role list. And we studied how to grant privilege to a role. Then if you want to grant privilege to a user, you want to specify the username. Grant, okay. Suppose you want to grant privilege to a user, grant dean to Amit, create role dean, grant instructor to dean, grant dean to Satoshi. So like that we can write the privilege to user. That is, here we are creating create role dean means here we are creating a new role. We already studied this example. Create role is used to create a new role. So here dean is used, dean is the name of the role, and grant dean to Satoshi. That means this role we are adding this person to this role. Grant dean to Satoshi means the Satoshi is a person who is included inside in the dean list, and we are giving the grant permission. Then grant Dean to Amit means Amit is another person who is added to the role of Dean. Okay. Then create instructor to Dean means this particular Dean is also an instructor. We all know that Dean will be also an instructor. So this role is inserted to grant instructor to Dean. Then so far we described how to give privileges to a person or a role to access data from a relation, and here we are going to discuss how to grant permission to manipulate, or how to grant authorization on a particular relation. Okay, so we know that normally when we create, suppose I am the owner of a particular database or a particular schema, I can do all the modifications on the schema. That is, I can create or delete or modify the relation. I can add or delete the attributes of the relation, or I can add or drop the integers. So we will study the concept of integers. So if I am the owner, or I am the owner of the database, I can do all these things. And we can also give privilege. Suppose if a particular user is introduced, and if the user has the references privilege, that is a new privilege which is given to us. In the case of authorization on schema, we are going to include one more type of privilege, that is called references privilege. References privilege which permits that suppose it is given to a particular user, then the user can declare a foreign key when creating the relation. Okay, so if I'm a user, if I have the reference privilege, then only whenever I am creating a table, I can make a foreign key. And this is the syntax for specifying the reference privilege. Grant reference department name on department to Morino. That means that this grant statement will give the grant statement will allow the user whose name is Morino in order to create a relation that references the key branch name of branch relation as foreign key. So you just understand that the references is privilege. What is the use of the references privilege? It allows the user, if we are giving that privilege to a particular user, he can make the foreign key. Okay, he can when he is creating a table, he has given the privilege to create a foreign key. Then next one is about the transferring the privileges. So far we discussed different types of privileges. In the case of data, we have given select, insert, update and delete privileges. Whenever we are discussing about a relation or a schema, then to create schema, or to delete schema, or modify schema. So that is the meaning of a privilege. Then it is also possible to transfer the privilege. Suppose I am a person, I have a particular privilege, I can transfer my privilege to another person. So whenever a particular person has granted a particular privilege, he cannot or she cannot transfer that privilege to other person. For that purpose, that default person, suppose I am a person, and suppose I have a privilege to perform select operation on a particular table. In the default case, I cannot transfer my select privilege to another person or another role. For that purpose, suppose I have given a right to transfer my authorization to another one. I have to use a term that is called with grant privilege option. With grant privilege option means I have given the right to grant my privilege to other person. So this is the syntax for that. Suppose it's an example, grant select on department to Amit with grant option. What is the meaning? Actually, Amit has granted an select authorization. That is, he can take values from department table. And he also has given the right to transfer his grant his authorization to his privilege to other person. So that is the meaning of this one. So far we discussed up to this. That means that Amit has given the select privilege on the department table. And here we added one more clause to that. That means he also has given the right to grant his permission or to transfer his privilege to other person also. Okay. And next is we can specify this flow, that is details about how to which person a particular person can transfer his her privilege. So like that we can, its idea is that we have to study one type of graph that is called the authorization graph. Okay, so it's a graph which consists of nodes and edges. The nodes represent the users, edges represents the authorization. The root of the node will be always the database administrator. It's an example. So root is always database administrator. He will be the master. And this figure shows that it's an arrow. Each edge is represented by an arrow. That means DBA. Suppose here we are considering the update authorization. That means that's why we are using this terms. DBA is the main one. He is giving the update authorization to user U1, U2 and U3. To user 1 and user 2, they have given the right to transfer their grant permission to transfer their rights also. That means user U1 is given his privilege to U4 and U5. U2 is also given his privilege to U5. So this is the meaning of an authorization graph. So this is main points. Initially the database administrator will grant the permission to certain users. Here U1, U2 and U3, you can see DBA has given his rights to U1, U2, U3, who may in turn pass on this authorization to other users. That means that here U1 has given the right to pass, and U1 has passed his authorization to U4 and U5. U2 has passed his authorization to U5, like that. And this can be represented by this kind of transferring the privileges, giving the privileges can be represented by a graph which is called the authorization graph. So this is the authorization graph to update authorization on the teacher's relation. So if there is an edge from UI to UJ, that means that UI is transferring his authorization. Here we are considering an update authorization. So UI is giving his update authorization to UJ on a particular table which is called teacher's table. So in the same manner, whenever we studied about the revoking privilege, revoking privilege means that suppose we are considering this graph, suppose DBA is revoking the update privilege from U1, then automatically the privilege of U4 will also be withdrawn because U1 has passed that privilege to U4. Here DBA withdrawn the privilege from U1, so it will make a cascading cascading revocation. Cascading revocation means that automatically if DBA has given a right to a privilege to one other user with grant option, suppose if he has granted his authorization privilege to another person, then when the DBA revoked from that particular user, automatically the other person's privilege will also be revoked. That is called cascading revocation. For example, revoke grant option for select on department from Amit. That means that the option for grant option, okay, grant option for select privilege on the department table which is given to Amit has been withdrawn by the DBA. That is the meaning. Now Amit cannot grant privilege to other person because that particular option is taken from take away from that person. Okay, that is the main topics we have to study. So here we studied about the authorization, granting and revoking privileges. What is the privilege in terms of data, privileges in terms of schema. Then we studied about the role, how to create a role, how to make a person, how to how to include a person to a particular role, like that. And then which are the different authorizations on schema. Then about the transferring, we study here, we studied about the reference privilege. Then how to transfer privilege. For that we have to include one more clause along with the grant command, that is this grant option. What is authorization graph? This is the authorization graph. Then revoking of privileges that may cause what is the meaning of cascading revocation. So that is the main point we have to study here.